Today we go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the sequel trilogy when it comes to J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 will be released in December of 2019. We got a ways to go until we get this movie theatrically. However, a trailer is set to debut at Star Wars Celebration in April of 2019, which is just a little over 200 days away. Now, looking at everything here, the thing that I do want to go over when it comes to Episode 9, this is something that a lot of the fans out there are worrying about when it comes to the sequel trilogy and Episode 9 specifically, is J.J. Abrams. Now, the director and the writer, the guy who started the sequels, he started off with The Force Awakens, he denied to come back for Episode 8, and that's when Rian Johnson stepped in. And now this, we have him in Episode 9. Now, the main worry among a lot of fans right now is exactly, will J.J. Abrams close the story in a satisfying way? Because there is indeed a common phrase that a lot of people use for J.J. based on a lot of different movies and projects that he has worked on, is that J.J. is a good fixer, but not a great closer, apparently. And when he closes certain projects, you're left wondering to yourself and asking yourself questions and kind of being left ambiguous in the moment when it comes to that movie or a project that he worked on, etc. So, with that being said, this raises the question for Episode 9 and the ending of the movie. And this is something that a lot of fans are talking about right now, is, of course, will J.J. Abrams close this movie in a satisfying way where we are not asking ourselves a million different questions? I honestly would like it to end on a note where it's similar to that of Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi. In Revenge of the Sith, you get an idea of where things are going, right? You know where it's moving forward. Darth Vader, the Emperor, the Death Star being built and constructed right then and there. Then you have Obi-Wan handing over Luke to Owen Mars and Beru on Tatooine as they look out to the sunset before the credits roll. It was a nice, pretty much, an ending where you knew things were going, obviously because the prequels took place before the originals. Then in Return of the Jedi, we had the Endor celebration, everybody's happy, they defeated the Empire, at least at the time, until Disney came back in and we got the Aftermath novels, etc. Now that ending, there weren't a lot of questions as to, what's happening with Luke and Leia and Han and all the other characters like Lando. Now in Episode 9, let's say if J.J. Abrams does do something where it's left completely ambiguous, where maybe Kylo Ren as a character, there's no closure, or maybe there's no closure to Rey as a character, and you're left wondering to yourself for years on end and asking yourself a lot of different questions. Now, we do know that J.J. was involved in the TV series Lost, and this is a very similar pattern. Right? The last episode of Lost that had people talking for years. What really happened at the very end of the series in that last episode. I won't spoil it in case you guys haven't seen the TV series, but that was one big example that a lot of people use. So when it comes to Episode 9, I think this is the thing that a lot of us fans, including myself, want to see. Either end it on a happy or a sad note. Whether or not the First Order wins or the Resistance wins, it doesn't matter to me. But end it on either a happy or a sad note. But have a lot of closure. Don't leave things ambiguous. Don't leave the fans questioning for years upon years upon years. Until maybe, and only maybe, we get another trilogy that's based around maybe the child of Rey and Ben Solo or something around those lines. Which, I don't know if they're going to do that. It seems like Kathleen Kennedy wants to move forward from the numbered movies, and that's their plan, is to move away from the numbered films. Again, the numbered films are the Skywalker saga. So Episode 9 could very well be just the last of everything, and then moving on forward, we'll have other trilogies set in different timelines, such as the Game of Thrones creators they're going to be doing something quite unique. I think it's going to be the Old Republic, so that's like a prequel era Star Wars trilogy, which should be really cool. Rian Johnson's trilogy, I feel very, very off about that. I really hope that somebody else takes over that trilogy, or they just cancel it altogether and just come up with a different idea. Maybe like a Star Wars interquel trilogy. And an interquel is actually a set of Star Wars movies, or just a set of movies in general, within other films. So it's like a trilogy in between trilogies. That would be an interesting idea for sure. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments section. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.